All right, welcome to downtown Grand Forks. It's November 7th, 2022, 5 p.m. And this is the Grand Forks Growth Fund Committee. Welcome and roll call.
Crary.
Here.
Holth.
Here.
Kavami. Osowski.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Whitney.
Here.
Wolf.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Item number 2, business park lot purchase offer, 2755 South 48th Street. Mr. Brooks.
Thank you, Chairman Weigel. For those who are not aware, the business park that is out on the western side of the I-29 and north of 32nd Avenue South, I'll quickly provide a quick display of where that's at. Here's I-29, 32nd Avenue South, South 48th Street's here. Is it not up there? Is it on your screens in front of you? Okay. John's probably taking care of whatever I didn't do. So I-29 here, 32nd Avenue South, and then South 48th Street's here. In 2018, we put in the infrastructure, 28th South 46th Street and 24th Avenue here, looping the area through there to make shovel-ready lots. The proposal that we have before us today is for this lot that's at the intersection here of 28th and 48th. I'll jump to the staff report that does a little bit better display. The applicant is interested in the access point that goes out to 48th Street. So they've offered to purchase that as well, but incorporating it as well with the existing lot here on the site. So a total of 140,000 roughly square feet that they're looking to purchase. It would be at $3.25 a square foot. And we would, this growth fund would be paying for the plat as part of that too, which is typical for how we've operated in the past. The applicant is in front of us here as well. He's available to answer any questions. In addition, they do plan on getting this built in the next year on the site for $3.25 for a square foot for all the lots. So I'll stand for any questions that you may have. And the applicant, as I said, is here as well.
Questions, anybody? Mr. Curry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A couple just maybe comments. Maybe just for the record, I suppose, that 325, I did looked up too, so it looked like the past two sales for Pro Transport and Midco was both for 325.
Correct.
So the price per foot reasonable based on historical comps. And then second, just want to make sure too, obviously being Mr. Brooks right here, fits all the city's good with zoning and intended use, et cetera, et cetera.
Correct. The use, in this case, we do have a planned unit development out here. We have this, specific uses. It's a little bit higher quality too in terms of what we want built on the site, a little bit higher quality materials. They are aware of those and they did fit with what they're proposing to do.
All right, thanks.
Any other questions? Mr. Wolf.
Just curious on a little bit more about what are they proposing to do and when? So it's warehouse space. They will have some display as well. I believe it's going to be for some construction materials, granite countertops, I believe. And so they did want a small area to do some display that does fit with the zoning. And I think there was some additional area for warehouse, but I can certainly have the applicant answer, probably do a better job of what I did. So I can step back if there was any more information that you needed.
And when would they, or what's the timeline? Or
I believe next spring they're going to get going. Yeah, next spring they're going to get going on this. So part of the reason they were looking to have the sale completed by the end of the year, and we'll get together on design and have that done by as the snow thaws and get going right away in the spring. That was their plan.
Mr. Brooks, what's stopping, because we've sold a couple of these parcels of land, what's stopping somebody from coming in, buying these properties at, $3.25 a square foot, sitting on them for 10 years, and then saying, you know what, I didn't need that piece of property, so now I'm going to sell it for $5.25 a square foot? Nothing currently is in place, so we could certainly put something in the purchase agreement that
that would cover that. We could work with the city attorney to get some language in on that.
Perfect. I just think it'd be good to maybe cover us a little bit. I know we put infrastructure into these pieces of property for a specific reason, to have development done in a certain amount of time as well. It sounds like they're looking, like you said, to do this pretty quickly, and I think that's great. But I don't want somebody maybe to take advantage of the system that we've laid out there and decide not to build anything for 5 years. So I'd love to put a timeline on starting construction, and then maybe have something in there that if they don't, then we need to work through that.
Sure, we'll work with city attorney on that.
Perfect. Would that be fair to the customer? I know he's sitting out there. We would not object. Okay, perfect. Yep, Ms. Whitney.
Mr. Brooks, just one question. I know it says in the staff report too that there's looking ahead at additional parcels that we're looking to raise that price from $3.25 to $4 a square foot. What's the thought process for that particular price point for the raise in relation to the future lots and development going forward? Yeah,
so when we've looked at sales and where things are trending, we are seeing the trends start to go a little bit higher. And especially in this case where we have specials already included, we think it's time to raise it up to $4, which would probably make the comment here in terms of putting that condition on that they have to get started right away. Because I do believe we're at a point where we need to start looking at where land prices are going, that we should start raising those up here. So that's been what we found in terms of some of the other sales.
So as someone that's not an expert in city planning, how do developers like, the one before us today, how do they know about this, hear about this, understand all the pricings, so that we can potentially have more parcels that get sold like this one?
Sure. We advertise on LoopNet, which is pretty common commercial advertising piece. So that's been where most of our sale leads have come from. This particular individual is local, and we've had conversations on this lot for a year or two actually on this one. So, but I want to say some of the previous ones have actually been probably them contacting us. Mid-Continent, Pro Transport as well. Those did not come through LoopNet. The FedEx sale before that was that one may have been a LoopNet. More of a national search. A lot of people do that. So some of the other leads that we've had have been through LoopNet. Some of them have just not come through to fruition. So,
Any other questions, concerns, motions?
Move approval.
Moved by Crary,
Second.
second by Holth. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Brooks.
thank you.
Item 3, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Whitney, second by Wolf. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Our meeting is adjourned.